local.
Welcome to Good Day Chicago at 9 o'clock. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following this morning.
So some folks from the front office of Hollis Hall are in Indy this morning for the NFL Combine. Now, we're going to check in with our own Cassie Carlson to see what the Bears are looking for ahead of football season. I hear that Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles are trying to keep away from the Indiana of it all. Yeah.
Right. See, she's got to sit down with both of them coming up, too. Well, some of the bright minds of the future, they're making history right now. We're talking to the District 159 Eagles about the historic championship wins.
Plus, Doubledore is back on the hunt this morning. The owner of the iconic music venue is joining us to talk about their search for a new home.
All right. Well, let's take a live look outside this morning. Checking in with Caitlin. Looks like we got a lot of sunshine out there, Caitlin.
It's beautiful. So bright. Temperatures, they're going to be a little bit on the chilly side today, but at least we do have the sunshine back. It's not too windy. Today we're going to see winds around 25 miles per hour possible. I've already seen those gusts this morning. But the temperatures are going up from here over the next couple of days. Tomorrow in the 40s, and then the mid and upper 50s expected on Friday. Some of you could be tagging 60 degrees on Friday with sunny skies. But this weekend, temperatures are dropping again, down into the 30s. And we have the chance for some snow around. So let's talk about what's happening currently. You saw that live shot and how beautiful it is. It's 29 degrees at the lakefront, 28 at O'Hare, 30 in Morris. Temperatures in northwest Indiana ranging in the low to mid 30s right now. Wind speeds, as mentioned, 20 to 25 miles per hour. I actually see a 26 mile per hour gust there in Gary. But the wind chill feels like we could be around 10 to 25 degrees. So it is 12 as the wind chill in DeKalb, 22 at the lakefront, but only 17 at O'Hare. So dress warm this morning. You're going to need your coat this afternoon too. Here's our futurecast to show this afternoon. Speaking of, 4:15, quiet, beautiful, but temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s as mentioned. Now talking about that potential for snow, our model is bringing in a touch of blue on our very southernmost counties like LaSalle and Kankakee. The rest of us dry. If you see some snow, it would be brief and light in our southern counties. Moving into tonight, temperatures, as mentioned, they are going to be chilly. Upper teens, low 20s, and then tomorrow, that's when the 40s are going to be back. Looking at 245, and we're sitting around 41 degrees at the lakefront. Then Friday. Friday is going to be fantastic. Not only is it going to be dry and sunny, but we also have very mild temperatures, right around 58 expected to be our high. This weekend down into the 30s with a chance for some snow on Saturday afternoon. Early next week starting off in the 30s. Back to you.
All right, Caitlin, thank you. A few difficult stories to get through here before we get to some lighter things. A woman has now been charged in a deadly hit and run of an Uber Eats driver.
Yeah, that happened earlier this week on the city's west side. Saquon joins us live now with the latest on this case. Good morning, Say.
Hey, good morning to you. Chicago police tell us a Maywood woman is now facing murder and vehicular hijacking charges after allegedly hitting and killing an Uber Eats driver near Loretto Hospital. Police tell us this woman here, 33-year-old Montoya Perry, was arrested about 10 hours after she stole an Uber Eats driver's car and hit him before taking off. That Uber Eats driver was Daniel Figueroa, a 28-year-old man from Downers Grove. He was found unresponsive just after 2 a.m. on Monday near Flournoy Street in the South Austin neighborhood. He was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital where he was pronounced dead. This morning, we know a GoFundMe page for Daniel is up and running. It was started by his girlfriend, Sandra. You can see her in this photo here. And she has received more than $6,000 in donations so far out of her $11,000 goal. She says in part, on February 23rd, 2026, my life changed forever when I lost my significant other, Daniel. He was the main provider for our home and the person I shared my life with. His passing has left not only an emotional void, but also a sudden financial burden that I never expected to face. She also adds, every day brings new challenges as I try to find a way forward for myself and our child. The weight of these responsibilities is overwhelming, and I am doing my best to stay strong for our family. Sandra says those donations will go toward funeral and memorial costs, as well as monthly living expenses and outstanding bills. Meanwhile, we know Perry is scheduled to appear in court for the first time today here at Layton Criminal Courthouse at 11:30. But guys, back to you.
Say, just such a sad situation, but we'll be now staying on top of the justice for this family. Thank you.
President Trump delivered his State of the Union address, making a pitch to Americans for why the country is on the right track.
It was the longest State of the Union address in American history, like an hour, 41 minutes total. Comes just months before voters go to the polls for the midterm elections. So the speech covered a wide range of topics, as you would think, in an hour and 41 minutes, with President Trump praising his administration's border and tariff policies, criticizing Democrats. I think he called them crazy, and a lot of other things for their opposition. The president pausing frequently, prompting standing ovations from Republicans in the chamber.
Our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. My administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. Our enemies are scared, our military and police are stacked, and America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
Following the president's address, the Democratic Party aired the rebuttal delivered by newly elected Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger. She says that the American people did not hear the truth from the president.
Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs. Small businesses have suffered, farmers have suffered, some losing entire markets. Everyday Americans are paying the price.
Governor Pritzker is responding to last night's address. He says, quote, after spending the last year wreaking havoc on American communities, Donald Trump once again spewed lies and attempted to gaslight the American people. We endured 2 hours of baseless claims, shameless propaganda, and the ramblings of a wannabe dictator outlining his plans to steal American elections. Illinois will keep standing for the truth and work to hold this president and his administration accountable.
Yeah, it was one of those speeches where I think everyone was just even more dug in, you know, on both sides. Texas Democrat Al Green, before it even got really going, was escorted out of the chamber. You could see there he was holding a sign, he was protesting. You know, this was just minutes after the speech started. He was holding that sign that said, "Black people aren't apes," in reference to a video that the president posted on Truth Social. Representative Green was kicked out of the president's joint address to Congress last year as well. That video, of course, depicting the Obamas as apes in it. So, yeah, there were lots of different protests there. Meantime, 3 Republican candidates are vying for governor of Illinois as we get ready for what will be a really big race.
They were part of our Chicago Report debate series. They talked about the ongoing battle over a new Bears stadium.
Do you support Illinois legislation that would give the Bears the ability to negotiate their property tax rates with the municipality?
I don't. I think right now we have the highest property taxes in the country. People are just getting destroyed, whether southern Illinois, central Illinois, or even on the west side where they were burning their property tax bills. We should do all the public infrastructure that's fair and necessary that the public benefits from to support a stadium, but we shouldn't give the Bears anything, and we certainly should not give them breaks. But I love the Bears. I want them here.
So, yes, I have a diverse opinion than my opponent. I believe we should be keeping the Bears, and I think if we can get a stadium, especially a dome stadium, we'll get Super Bowls, we can do UFCs, concerts, pay-per-views.
Bears have every right to own their own stadium. They have 326 acres in Arlington Heights that they bought 3 years ago. I say that if I was governor, that stadium would be half built right now. What we're doing is we have a city inside of a city with 326 acres. It's so much more than a huge dome. And we get the Super Bowl, hundreds of millions of dollars coming of economic growth to our region.
Make sure you join us tonight at 6 for our debate series finale. It's a 2-part debate that will feature 6 Democrats running for the 9th District congressional seat. Indiana lawmakers, they are advancing a bill to bring the Bears across state lines.
The bill funds the construction of a new stadium for the team in Hammond. Since this bill was amended in committee, it still needs approval by the Indiana State Senate and then be signed by Governor Mike Braun to go into effect. Indiana's legislative session will end on Friday. Well, departments from different universities, they're coming together to help high school students dive into engineering.
And we're going to discuss some of the myths of engineering and talk about some ways to make the engineering track more affordable later this hour. Can't wait to be able to talk about all of that and see some young, bright, promising students. It's 9:09. Give us 2 minutes and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Here's a live look this morning at 9:12. Beautiful sunny day to get this Wednesday started. All right, this story is bigger than basketball. Before this historic season even tipped off, head coach Darryl Moffitt lost his father. 7th and 8th grade teams at Colin Powell from School District 159, they didn't just rally around him. For the first time in school history, both teams brought home the 4A state championship. Coach Darryl Moffitt joins us this morning along with the 8th grade captain Jacob Miller and 7th grader Avery Armstead. Thank you all for being here.
And thank you for having us.
Well, first, congratulations for sure. Now, Coach, you lost your father before this season started. How did that loss really kind of shape you personally?
It was tough because my father was my best friend. And it actually did. It happened right in December. It was a tough time. We were getting ready for state. We're thinking state bound. But these guys helped me out. These guys, as long as the teams, I found a way to find strength and purpose within the team. And, you know, they really helped me more than I helped them on the court. You know, they really helped me to get through this.
Jacob, when you guys decided to dedicate this season to Coach's dad, what did that commitment look like at practice and behind the scenes?
It looked like everybody putting in work, working hard, making sure that we're not taking no days off, no plays off, no reps off, no nothing off, just working hard so we could complete our mission.
And Avery, as a 7th grader, watching your coach go through that loss, how did that motivate not just you, but all of your teammates as well?
It just made us want to work harder, win state for his father.
Hey, Coach, during this historic run, was there maybe a point during this run where you kind of felt like your dad was there with you?
Absolutely, man. This is it's a touching situation, man. When both teams won. I mean, our boys basketball team has never won state championship. And for that to happen, of course, you know, that was my best friend, man. It's tough, you know. But, you know, I fought through it, and he was with me every step of the way. And these guys really helped me to get through this.
What was that moment like for both of you guys when you came home with this hardware?
It felt great. Just winning state because we the first teams to do it in Color Path history.
It felt good making history because we were the first team to do it, and it really felt good because it's been one of my goals since I was little.
And you guys obviously playing basketball in Madison also. I grew up playing basketball in Madison myself. What is it that you hope that these kids learn about this experience that will carry along with them forward into adulthood as well?
I want them to remember that I trusted them. Trust was big, you know, it's very important to trust these guys at 11, 12, 13 years old. You know, I've coached, you know, Jacob and his team for 2 or 3 years, Avery the whole year, and trust. I want them to know and remember that I trusted them and they trusted their coach. For me to make adjustments, I had to make adjustments. We had to prepare to beat these teams, and I want them to remember that I trusted them, I believed in them, and they believed in me as well as a coach to do that.
Not only did they believe in you, all of Madison really believed in you guys. What's that support been like from the community?
You know what, the support from the top down, from our superintendent to the Board of Education, all the way down to our CPMS administration, they helped to set us up for success. And that support was huge. Our parents, oh my God, if you got to meet my parents, they are unbelievable. I mean, in the stands, you just feel, it was a different atmosphere this year. And they really helped push us to get to where we want to be. And now we can finally say our boys basketball teams, 7th and 8th grade, are both state champions.
State champions, you guys doing something big. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And definitely, as a fellow District 159 alum, all of us are really proud of you guys.
Thank you so much. And thanks for paving the way for these boys as well. Because,
all right.
Yep.
Thank you guys again.
Thank you, too.
All right, time now, 9:16 this morning. We'll be right back on Good Day Chicago.
responsible for the content of this ad.
Welcome back, 9:19. You're looking at a sunny but chilly day. And you know what they say? When one door closes, another one could become a double door. Double Door, of course, the iconic music venue formerly in Wicker Park. They announced that the venue will not be moving forward with their plan to transform the Wilson Theater in Uptown. But that does not mean that we're going to be dashing all hopes of a comeback. Sean Mulroney, the owner of Double Door, is joining us this morning to discuss. So, back in 2018, you were super hopeful that you were going to be able to kind of get things going, and what, money got in the way?
Well, money always gets in the way,
right,
either in a good way or a bad way. Essentially, we found this wonderful building, an old theater that had been empty for 15 to 17 years, and moved forward with that. The city was gracious enough to give us a $5 million grant, but that came with certain terms and conditions. I will tell you that the city employees were fabulous, the ones we worked with. Process, though, for restoring an old building, not as expensive, it's also time consuming. So during that period of time, I would suggest that the economy is a little different than it was pre-pandemic and still on the mend. So it became like, is this something that that I want to step into? And without that, a little bit of additional money, the project was not feasible.
And I mean, you have to have a certain degree of trepidation with that kind of investment going in. Are we going to be able to make this thing work at that cost level, right?
Yeah, that was certainly the driving force to this decision. But the TIF money that was allocated to the Double Door expired in January 1st. So that money is still with the city.
Okay.
I don't know where it ends up, but it didn't end up with me.
You didn't end up in the Mulroney bank account. The Double Door has just, you've had the Rolling Stones, Liz Phair, Kanye. I mean, the list goes on and on of all the acts that you have had at the Double Door. In your mind, what kind of nostalgia does the Double Door have here in Chicago, and how does that play into your efforts to kind of keep this venue alive, regardless of where you end up putting it in the future?
Well, a wonderful opportunity has dropped into my lap. A good friend of mine, Mike Strandberg, whose family's owned the Gallery Cabaret in Bucktown for almost 40 years, a very eclectic, small tavern that did big band, jazz, open mics. It was very community-driven. Has reached out to me, and we're collaborating. So that a little facelift means some paint, different color light bulbs. We're not changing much, but I'm going to bring some of the Double Door programming into this small room and mix it up with what Mike's had going too, which is this eclectic mix of big band and open mics and jazz and so forth. So I'm looking forward to use this as a way to sort of keep Double Door's expression and musical vision, if you will, alive at this small venue in Bucktown, right next to Wicker Park, where I was for 25 years.
So it's not that far away.
No, and it's a great, it's got its own history, and marrying the two together seems to make a lot of sense. And we're going to do that as we, keep our options open for a venue that is more affordable or something in that.
Are you optimistic that this deal can happen? I mean, as you sit right now, you're thinking, we make this go.
Music's what I do.
Just out of curiosity, let's say that the cabaret deal doesn't quite come together. How far out into the city or maybe even suburbs are you willing to look? As you and I were talking in the commercial, there may be some vacant property in Northwest Indiana that may come available to you.
All of a sudden, I'm a big fan of Northwest Indiana.
Right, sure.
Well, actually, the Gallery Cabaret, we're doing a soft opening March 1st.
Okay.
And we're picking up the program that was already, we call it booked, was already booked into the room, and start to push some of our stuff in the next couple of months. So we're honoring the neighborhood and the tradition. I don't want to say we're coming in to do a clean sweep. We're coming in just to have some fun together. And that gives me a way to, kind of keep my musical thoughts in a place where I can see what I do, and hopefully that'll translate into the next step for Double Door.
And you say that's a soft opening March 1st?
Yeah,
can the public get in on that?
Yeah, of course. It's a very small room. It's 100 or less.
So only short people can go?
Yeah, well, if you want to be in the front. That's what I always said about the Double Door. There were times when we do tall shows and short shows.
Okay. Seriously?
Yeah, like I will say Living Colour, for example, was in it. It was the tallest audience I've ever seen.
For that band? Okay.
I don't know why, but I walked around, I couldn't see anywhere, and I'm like, there's tall guys everywhere. At any rate, so a lot of great stories from Double Door. We hope to keep more stories coming. And this thing at Gallery Cabaret is just, it's going to be fun to do something with, not millions of dollars of pressure, just good little local room, putting in a brand new sound system. So what I'm saying is the soft opening is a way for us to kind of ring out the room, bring back some of the employees, bring in some new employees, teach them stuff, and we're going to, we'll be there every day of the week starting with the 1st.
All right, so that's Sunday then?
Yeah.
Yeah, what time?
The doors open at 5.
Okay.
There'll be some music going on at 7, and they're just kind of old friends and Double Door employees. They're all bringing their bands.
Gotcha. All right, well, Sean, we appreciate you coming in this morning. Wish you nothing but good luck here with this new, maybe, partnership with the Cabaret. But,
yeah, I like it. I'm feeling good about it.
I think the city needs Double Door to stay vital.
Well, don't count me out.
No, we wouldn't do that. Absolutely. All right, we're going to be right back with more of Good Day after this quick break.
Thanks.
Welcome back, 928, and you can see just a couple of clouds out over the lake, but boy, the city being bathed in sunshine. And more than likely, wherever you are in Chicagoland, you're seeing quite a bit of sun. Nice change from yesterday. Those clouds made me mad, held our temperatures back a little bit. But the color blue playing very, very strongly here in this shot here, looking across the lake. The lake is cold, maybe a little thin layer of ice trying to form, but we're going to melt whatever ice may get going tomorrow and then really big time on Friday. Right now, it's 28 at O'Hare. Couple of low clouds scattered about. Northwest winds at 15 miles per hour, so the wind chill. I mean, you still want the winter coat, and if you're out for any period of time, hat and gloves are going to be your friend. Already up to freezing, though, at Joliet. Only 25 at Woodstock. That's about the temperature spread. Well, it looks like Gary in one of the warm spots. You're sitting there at 34 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Winds. These are the gusts, and you see a 22-mile-an-hour gust at O'Hare, just a little bit stronger at Gary. Most of these winds are kind of in the 15-mile-an-hour range, and I think that'll be the stage throughout the day. So the wind chills, upper teens and low 20s. Feels like 21 at Merrillville. 14, one of the colder wind chills at Aurora's Airport in Sugar Grove. So today, lots of sunshine on the way, and this time of year, I'm kind of comparing and contrasting yesterday. I mentioned this in one of our earlier shows. I was outside with the dog yesterday playing because she wanted to play, and it was cold. That wind just cut right through. I had the coat, the hat, the whole thing. It's like, this is not that nice out there. Today, with sunshine and a little bit less wind, I think it's going to feel more comfortable. Now tonight, all the precipitation staying way south of Chicagoland. Tomorrow, it's going to be a mostly sunny day, and temperatures are going to respond by getting up into the low 40s, so a little bit of a warm-up tomorrow. But the day, Friday, we're going to have uninterrupted sunshine here and temperatures that will easily get into the 50s. I'm going to go with 55. My comrade in arms, Caitlin, went 58 degrees. We've been kind of joking about that. We're splitting hairs. It's going to be a really mild day. 36 today, mostly sunny. West-northwest winds about 10 to 20. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy skies with a low 22. Few suburbs may get to 18 or 19, but at least it won't be that windy. Tomorrow, we hit 42 and 55 at least on Friday. But look what happens. We got a shot of colder air in here over the weekend, and that may be accompanied by some snow showers, both Saturday and then again late Sunday. And we'll keep temperatures colder than normal through Tuesday when there could be a rain or wet snow shower. Let's look at this cool photo here from Kurt Fry. He was flying over New Mexico. And that is a pretty shot of that sun going down there, Kurt. I'm not sure if you were heading into New Mexico or coming out of there, but I'm a big fan of New Mexico. It's pretty out there. All right, Anita, why don't we talk about that combine?
You know, this is the picture that I prefer right here. I mean, that one was really pretty, too. Don't get me wrong. But we're looking for the future of the Bears, you know. Bears GM Ryan Poles and head coach Ben Johnson officially talking about the upcoming NFL season. They've got a lot to accomplish on their offseason to-do list. You know, we want to stay at the top of the yard. So Cassie Carlson is joining us live from Indy with the latest. Obviously, we've done a lot of reporting from Indiana lately, but it seems like the leadership down there is trying to maybe stay away from the stadium part and focus on the field.
Yeah, Ryan Poles was asked about all the stadium news, and he said he was on vacation last week, even had some Bears fans. I think he was in the Cayman Islands or somewhere down in the Caribbean, and he had them come up to him. They were asking about the stadium, and he just kind of defers to the answer of he believes in George McCaskey and Kevin Warren to get the job done. He has all the faith in them, and so he was laughing that he has received a lot of texts, just like a lot of other people who are surrounded or in the know with the Bears have received texts about where is the stadium going to be, but they are focused on all these prospects that are down here in Indianapolis this week as they hold the 25th overall pick in the first round. And it's funny, the past 4 years that I've been here, at least, the Bears have been the talk of the combine because they either had a new head coach or they had a top 10 pick. And for the first time since Ryan Poles has been general manager in Chicago, they don't have either. And so it's rather quiet, although it is the week where trade talks start to get going in the combine, at restaurants in Indy, at bars late at night. And so we'll see how the week kind of unfolds in that sense. But right now it's just the Bears believing that the draft class, which is heavy on edge rushers, is really much aligning with their needs as they look to overhaul their defense, specifically as they try to repeat what they did last year and hopefully make it back to the playoffs.
Yeah, 25, pretty far down, at least from where they've been the last several years. So do they have, as you said, like edge rushers, do they have a specific thing that they are looking for, or are they just taking what's best at that point?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Usually GMs are asked that at every combine, that do they draft best player available or do they draft for position of need? And Ryan Poles said it, that they were going to draft best player available at 25. He said you can't get caught up in doing needs because you could pass on a really good football player. And I think if there's anything that we've learned since Ben Johnson took over as head coach and his involvement in the draft last year, drafting a tight end, 10th overall in Colston Loveland, is that he's going to have a heavy say in who they draft. And they felt like at that point, the way their draft board fell is Colston Loveland was the best player available, and we saw him become one of the best rookies in all the NFL last year. And so they're going to stick to that same strategy. He said they do have yellow tape on certain names and certain positions of need that they have on their draft board, but they don't want to pass on a guy who could be a really impact player when they do that. And in terms of some of the other things that they're looking at is just, you know, as they look at who aligns with their needs, I think it's a heavy edge class. That's what they keep saying. And Ben Johnson was asked about what he finds or wants to see in an edge rusher or or defensive tackle. And he said he doesn't care if the pressure comes from the interior really or the edge. He just wants someone with a relentless motor. I sat down with Ben Johnson one-on-one yesterday, and I said, as the former offensive coordinator who still calls the offense for the Bears right now, what makes it so hard to game plan against some of the best edge rushers in the league? And he said it is the relentless motor that they do have and that they play with, not taking plays off. And he said when he asked some of his offensive linemen, the best guys that they've gone up against, he said a lot of times it's not even the biggest name guys. It might be a smaller guy or smaller name guy or player itself, but it's the ones that are constantly go, go, go. And so I think you're looking at how the teams in the playoffs, the ones that made it further than the Bears, like the Rams, like the Seahawks, you can point to the Patriots, the ones that made it furthest had really good defensive lines, and they were able to get pressure on quarterbacks at a much higher rate than the Bears were able to last year. And you just look at how this defensive line is structured right now with Montez Sweat on one edge. He gets a lot of chips. Could you take that off of him and maybe he has another double-digit sack season next year with someone opposite of him? But the other thing that Ryan Poles keeps pointing to is injuries that the Bears suffered on the defensive line with rookie Shamar Stewart and then Dayo Odangbo, who they brought in free agency last year, both with season-ending injuries. He said they should be back by the spring or definitely by training camp, and they felt like they were starting to find where they fit in this defense a little bit more. So you kind of sense that there was some excitement and trust that when those guys are back and healthy, they do feel a lot better of who they have on that defensive line. I still think you look at this class, though, and just the copycat league that the NFL is, and you could never have too many pass rushers.
Yeah, and there's there's got to be a different feeling for Ben Johnson versus coming in as a part of kind of an overhaul versus now you get to, create what you want to see and not being given it, but now you start to create it. I know I spoke with you yesterday when things were really just getting started and you were doing a few interviews. What's the lineup for today?
Yeah, so the lineup for today is we're going to be talking to newly promoted assistant general manager Jeff King for the Bears. He has a great story, former player, started as an intern, has really worked his way up, and it's going to be interesting to talk to him because he's the one that scouted Tyson Bagent back when he was an undrafted free agent. And now we learned and have heard through reports and then confirmed it with Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson yesterday that they have received calls about people wanting to trade for their backup quarterback. And so how he feels, because the thing that we've learned through Ryan Poles is now that he's in year 5, there are personal connections and relationships with these players that you kind of have to separate because it's a business at the end of the day. And it's going to be interesting to hear his take on, is it worth trading Tyson Bagent, someone that Ben Johnson loves? Tyson Bagent, he was extended, an undrafted guy that ends up getting paid. It's a really great story, and could he be turned into a mid-round draft pick? We'll see if the Bears are going to actually entertain those offers. So we're going to talk to him, and then we're sitting on Radio Row right now, and if you look around, there's just a lot of national insiders. So people walk by, you grab them, and then also linebackers and defensive linemen are speaking today. So we'll try to pop in and hear from some of them. Gabe Akis out of Illinois is one of the edge rushers, more of a local story that we'll try to listen into. So a lot going on. It's a lot of on-the-fly stuff, but it's fun, and that's why it's fun to be on Radio Row because it's so busy. It's where everyone is, and everyone's talking about their teams, and you try to get as much information and hear what people are hearing, and we'll bring that to you, of course, throughout the day.
It's good stuff. Thank you so much. I saw one of the NFL insiders asking Ben Johnson, so is this real, your issues with the Packers, or do you just play it up to be the head coach? Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So thank you. I know we're going to be bugging you, so thank you for staying on top of everything there.
helpful.
The future of engineering is looking brighter than ever. The College of DuPage and Northern Illinois University, they are partnering to show high school students all of the pathways to becoming an engineer. Here to tell us more is Dr. Jen Cumpston, the Dean of STEM at the College of DuPage, and David Gruwell, the Dean of NIU's College of Engineering and Engineering Technology. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for coming in nice and early today. All right, let's start with you. Can I call you Dr. Jen?
That's fine.
Let's go with Dr. Jen. Your schools are partnering together here for Engineering the Future. It's an event. Why is this partnership, collaboration so valuable for students maybe exploring a career path as an engineer?
Well, it is really important to make engineering accessible. We know it's a high in-demand field. It's high paying. It's something that people are really excited about. But at COD, we make it accessible. We have low tuition cost. And you can transfer to a lot of our partners, including NIU, which is in one of our top 10 transfer schools. So it's a really great opportunity to have the small class sizes, affordable, and then move on and stay close to home, maybe even.
So somebody might be able to get a bachelor's in something at COD and then go and get a master's at David's school. Is that the path, maybe?
We actually have the associate in engineering science, and then you could move on to any of our transfer partners.
Gotcha. All right, David, when you hear the word engineering, some people envision somebody sitting alone in a cubicle with a slide rule or maybe something more advanced than that. What do you think is the biggest myth about an engineering career?
I think they talked about exactly what you're saying, is that they're sitting behind a desk and doing some type of design work. Our graduates go off and get jobs everywhere. It's hard to imagine any product or any process that's not engineering related. And so whether it's from fruit production to transportation or anything, for example, a friend of mine, engineer, graduated chief of surgery.
Really? Whoa, okay.
Many of our graduates go off and get jobs in Wall Street banking. Many of our graduates go off and get jobs in entertainment. And so there is nothing out there that's not open to you as an engineer. And as Jen said, we work together and we get great students from DuPage and we love them. And they're very successful when they come to NIU. DuPage does a great job of getting them ready.
That's great to hear. Tell us a little bit about the Shell Echo Marathon Americas competition, which is at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tell us more about that. Is this something in your purview, David?
Yeah, we have a number of different competition teams on campus, really, whether it's a super mileage club that goes and has a car that gets over 5,000 miles per gallon. We also have our motorsports team that goes down and competes there as well, and try to see how fast they can go or have different competitions of maneuverability. And
at the Brickyard is where they're doing this?
Exactly.
Oh, that's fabulous. All right, there is no question Chicago has a huge engineering community. This would be a place where I think a lot of future engineers would like to work. What are you hearing from local employers that are telling you maybe about what kind of skills do they need from that next class of engineers?
Well, even though engineering is math and science focused, they are really looking for communication skills, so those soft skills that go along with it. And now ever more important is machine learning as we get into AI for process improvement. So that is a really exciting thing that's coming into engineering.
She said AI, I'm already biting my finger. But there are definite huge, benefits from that in your field, no doubt, right? Yeah.
Exactly. The class I'm teaching this semester, actually, this Friday, the students have a homework assignment. They have to build an AI chatbot that has a related engineering problem for them to solve. So we'll see how well they do of building a dedicated AI machine.
David, if I hear that your students are building a chatbot that's doing the weather, I do not want that coming in here and taking my job. There are probably some students that are looking at that field saying, oh my gosh, it's going to be so expensive, so many years of going to college. One of the things that you were saying is that you're doing your best to try and make this accessible for more. How do you do that, really?
Well, our tuition at COD is very low compared to starting at a four-year university, so you can save money in the first 2 years and then move on. And we also have so many opportunities from our engineering technology club that competes nationally to other student clubs, and our campus is beautiful. So you get a lot of value for for the amount of money you're paying. You're having a four-year experience at a two-year college. It's really wonderful.
Fantastic. David, very quickly, there is an Engineer the Future event coming up. How can folks get involved? When is that, and where can they get get more info?
It's next Monday at the College of DuPage. DuPage has been very grateful to host this, and it's to bring in high school students and in order to engage them with industry partners so they can see firsthand from our industry partners what kind of job opportunities are available and what type of career growths are available and income and so on, and what's available to them.
That's fantastic. We appreciate both of you coming in. One final question. Are books an important part of what an engineer needs to do?
Books are important, but we
yes.
are actually increasing our open education resources to save students money. Our faculty are building resources that make it free for students. So that $200 textbook cost can be free.
Well, the reason why I asked that is because our own Jake Hamilton right now is at a place where books are taking center stage. Jake, do they have any books about engineering there that, you know, we might want to focus on?
It wouldn't surprise me if they did. And, you know, she used the exact word free. Lots of bookstores popping up around Chicago, but this one is the first one that all the books totally free. We'll tell you more right here on Good Day Chicago.
What started as a way to keep books out of landfills has now helped transform people's lives through reading.
Yeah, Jake is over in Avondale this morning to check out Chicago's first free bookstore, Book for Cause. Hey, Jake.
That's right, guys. I've loved this explosion of bookstores that we've been seeing around Chicago lately, but this one is special because it's Chicago's first free bookstore. You walk in, you say, I want that book. They say, great, have a nice day. And then you walk out, of course, while saying thank you. That's what Books for Cause is all about. We're here with man Yosef, who's the owner of the place. Yosef, you and I were speaking the last hour, and we were talking about how much word of this place has really exploded on social media. Like, people are going nuts. That's how I learned about it, on Instagram. Like, how has social media played a role in word spreading about this place?
It's amazing. People finding out about us for the first time, walking in, and experiencing the free bookstore for the first time.
Now, for people who maybe didn't catch us in the last hour, explain how this works, because I'd imagine people come in and they go, what do you mean it's free? Okay, it's free, but how much? You're like, it's as advertised.
There's always seems like free, okay, but what's the catch? This is a free bookstore, no catches. You come in off the street, you take books, and we believe education and books should be limitless and shouldn't be based on your income level.
And I love that you have to have signs around the place to say, is everything really free? Yes, it is. But you know, as much kindness as you guys are providing, because knowledge, literature, this is something that people should have access to, it only works if people kind of pay it forward and are also kind, because this store kind of relies on people's donations. Can you explain that?
Yeah, everybody at home has a stack of books that are gathering dust, and we thought there was a better solution to just having them sit at people's homes and to get them recirculated, and that's where this free bookstore came about.
And you know, we keep talking about books a lot, but it's so much more. You have an entire multimedia section over here of DVDs and vinyl and CDs, VHS. I mean, I've started collecting VHS, recently, so I've been going through everything you got. And you've got a kids section over here. And we were talking, you were saying that, teachers and schools that are maybe in need of, some books for their kids. This is a great place for them to kind of fill up their bookshelves a little bit.
Yeah, and the little free libraries, we have many people come by, and usually we have a 10-book limit, but with teachers and free little libraries, there's no limit. Take as much as you need.
See, I think that is amazing. Again, let's emphasize for people who, because everybody at home has a stack of something,
That's right?
Whether it's a stack of CDs, stack of books, whatever the case may be. And if you haven't cracked one open in a while, or maybe you read it and kind of forgot about it, this is a great place to bring it to, because it could end up in the hands of someone who maybe otherwise wouldn't be able to read it.
Exactly. Let someone else read. Let the book have another chance to be read, enjoyed, experienced again.
And, one thing we do want to emphasize, because you don't want anyone to take advantage of the kindness, right? People can come out here, they can grab a book, they'll say thank you, go about their day. But what they shouldn't do is grab all the books. Let's limit it. Let's restrain ourselves, right? There are some restraints.
Of course. Yeah, there are limits. We do actually put a limit of 10 books per week, which I think is enough for a person's consumption.
Love that.
Consumption.
Really quick, where can people come out? Where can they find you? Where can they get more information?
We are in Avondale. You can find us on website, booksforcause.com. And Instagram, we are in the Avondale neighborhood, 2931 North Milwaukee.
We appreciate what you guys are doing for the community. Guys, as we toss it back to you in the studio, so I'm out here amongst all of these amazing books, right? Centuries of literature and knowledge at my fingertips. What do I grab?
Star Trek.
Look, it's Batman.
Oh,
close.
I knew it was something movie related.
Movie related for sure. Which Batman is that, Jake?
Kaplan. It's Dark Knight. Come on, it's Chicago. Come on.
West,
You're embarrassing yourself, Kaplan.
Thank you, Jake. Love what they're doing there. We'll be right back, everybody. It's 9:53.
9:56. We have a very exciting episode of Chicago Now, especially those of you who are WWE fans. We have CM Punk
A legend.
in
a living
studio right now.
wrestling legend.
Yeah.
He's about to be sitting right to Caitlin's left to start off the show. Also, Chicago Children's Theater celebrating 20 years with a very special birthday bash. And we're going to talk about one effort to give 2,500 free laptops out to young students. That's all next on Chicago Now.